Hello, welcome to Vegas Nation. I'm Bryan Salmond. Folks, tonight it was the most important game of the preseason. The dress rehearsal, an opportunity to see the starters play extended minutes for most teams, but not the Packers, because Aaron Rodgers played exactly 0 snaps in this game with the Raiders and the Packers in Oakland, California. Raiders quarterback Derek Carr, well, he did not play much more, just 1 series in the game, but Carr looked pretty good. He was 2 for 3, 68 yards, and a passer rating of 109.7, highlighted by a 49-yard completion to who? Amari Cooper. Yes, Amari Cooper makes the catch. The opening drive ended with a 32-yard field goal by Mike Nugent. From there, Carr hit the sidelines. Insert Connor Cook with the first-team offense, and this game got ugly. Cook really did nothing. 6 for 15, 72 yards, an interception, and a passer rating of 27.6. Not good at all. However, backup E.J. Manuel was not much better. Manuel enters the game and promptly fumbles the ball, setting up the Packers with a go-ahead field goal, making it 6-3. In the end, the game was a success, only because no major injuries to Raiders starters, and the defensive line looked pretty good for the Silver and Black. So, for more on tonight's game, let's check in with Raiders beat writer Michael Gehlken, who's in Oakland, California, and has more. Michael.
Thanks, Brian. Jon Gruden said going into Friday evening's exhibition against the Greenbay Packers that the Raiders starters were going to play into the second quarter. Derek Carr played 1 series, 7 snaps, and his night was done. But who could blame Gruden, really? The way Derek Carr looked, the very first snap, a play-action pass, faking it to Marshawn Lynch, going deep to Amari Cooper. Cooper high points to pass, 49-yard gain. A little bit later in that opening drive, a 19-yard completion along the sideline to tight end Jared Cook. And then the way that drive ended, Derek Carr being sacked because right tackle Donald Penn still getting the feel, still getting the game shape as he recovers from that foot injury still, working out right side, a new position for him. And so that opening drive ended with a strip sack that Carr fumbled. All in all, a good preseason for Derek Carr. Really great when you consider that he exits it healthy. He will not play next week against the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, the Raiders are going to look to shore up that offensive line. Protection is a very important storyline with this offensive line going into the September 10 opener against the Los Angeles Rams. Donald Penn in particular, given he started about 170 games all at left tackle in the NFL, right tackle, this new spot. It's going to take him some time to get comfortable and, again, get into that football shape after missing all but 2 practices in training camp. Beyond how the first-team offense looked, not much from the Raiders' second team, or really just backup quarterbacks as a whole. Connor Cook, E.J. Manuel, both kind of middling this entire preseason. Jon Gruden said after the game that he can't say whether or not the Raiders' number 2 quarterback is currently on this 90-man roster. Injury-wise, teams seem to get out of it pretty okay. Nick Nelson, the team's 4th-round draft pick, appeared to deal with some sort of left hamstring injury. Spoke to him after the game in the locker room, just cramping, so that's a good sign. Griff Whalen, the team's wide receiver, competing for a spot in the slot, probably won't make this 53, but he was walking out of the locker room in a protective boot. I'm told he's dealing with a toe injury. X-rays, however, are negative. So a good sign for Griff Whalen, and overall a good preseason for the Raiders' first-team offense. They exit this thing healthy. From here in Oakland, this is Michael Gehlken. Back to you, Brian, in the Vegas Nation studio.
All right, Michael, thank you very much. Let's bring it in studio now with NFL writer Gilbert Manzano and Gilbert. That game was tough for me to watch. A lot of good, a lot of bad. I guess what's the biggest takeaway from you from this game?
Let's go early in the game. The first drive, Derek Carr was in the under center. Donald Penn, not a left tackle. He was on the right side.
He looked great.
No, not great. He looked off. He looked shaky, uncomfortable. The footwork wasn't right for Donald Penn. He came back from his injury, and they put him in at right tackle. And Jon Gruden's trying to experiment there with Colton Miller at left and put in the 3-time Pro Bowler at left tackle on the right side. There was a play where he got bull rushed pretty easily, and he hit Derek Carr, and Derek Carr fumbled the ball. Luckily, he landed on it. But the whole night, he just didn't look right. He looked uncomfortable. So this could be something that Gruden could assess for next week and maybe just change the whole thing around and pull the plug. But so far, the experiment with Colton Miller at left and Donald Penn at right is not looking good. Not looking good.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk Raider Nation off of the ledge right now. How about the defensive line? Because they look really good.
that was a positive from this brutal game to watch. But the D-line, especially the rookies, were looking great.
Yeah.
There was almost a near rookie sack combo there with Mo Hurst and Arden Key. They didn't give Arden Key the credit on the sack for his first preseason sack, but he looked great the whole day. He was explosive out the line of scrimmage. His second move was pretty solid. He's a big, fast guy out there. So I can see why a lot of people who are following the team in Napa real closely were really high in Arden Key because he has all the tools. He's a very big guy, like I mentioned, but you know, not just Arden Key, but the entire line. Even guys like Fodell Brown was stepping up. More on the rookies, PJ Hall and Mo Hurst. Overall, if you're Khalil Mack and you're watching from home, you want to make your money. But you're watching and you're liking what you're seeing from your teammates.
Yeah, you like what you're seeing. You're happy, like, but no.
I want to be there.
I want them to miss me, so they pay me. Our defensive line looked really good. How about Amari Cooper? The nice, combination with Derek Carr early in the game, that nice 48-yard completion that they had?
Yeah, it was a little off from Derek Carr in the throw, but Amari Cooper got that jump ball, contested ball. Usually Amari Cooper is kind of shaky up there, some drop balls here and there. But Cooper, corralled the ball in, did a good job. He caught it. The catcher was a little shaky sometimes, but he did a great job for Amari Cooper. And the deep ball, Derek Carr went for early on the first snap of the game. That was a problem a year ago. Derek Carr wasn't going deep. He did it right away. I think that's why Gruden took him out right away.
And lastly, the backup quarterback situation. Do you want to play backup quarterback for the Raiders?
I could try, but I'm not going to be any better. But it is a pretty.
Not going to be any worse.
It's an ugly situation right now for number 2 behind Derek Carr. You got a battle between, I don't even want to call it a battle, but it's E.J. Manuel and Connor Cook, and none of them did a good job today to, take that number 2 job. Maybe it is something you might, if you're Jon Gruden, you might want to look to see what's out there. Across the sideline, Deshaun Kaiser with the Packers. It could be maybe somebody you throw a 7th-round pick to bring him to Oakland.
They're not getting rid of him.
Yeah, but it's just they have 3 quarterbacks and decent ones, and the Raiders only have 1 good one. And we saw last year when Carson Wentz went down, Nick Foles stepped up for the Eagles. So a backup quarterback is a crucial thing to have on your team.
You know what else is crucial to have on your team? This guy, Gilbert Manzano, NFL writer here at the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Good work, my man.
Thank you, Brian. Team effort.
All right, that will do it. We're almost done with the Raiders having preseason games. They only have 1 more left versus the Seahawks in a game that will likely determine who is that backup quarterback for the Silver and Black. So for Gilbert Manzano, Michael Gehlken in Oakland, California, I'm Bryan Salmond for Vegas Nation. We'll see you next time.